Let's talk about trend spotting, because there was a particular royal appearance that accidentally told on itself. So the other girl has been trying, and I mean really trying, to make certain patterned coats a thing for the past year or so. There was even a moment when she allegedly designed her own tartan coat, which unfortunately did not fit properly. A choice was made, but then again, that's not the focus of my story here. So let's fast forward, I think a couple of days ago, yesterday, whatever, in Wales, Pembrokeshire, and she turned up in what people thought was a tartan coat from a distance, but it wasn't. But, you know, it was very 70s, upholstery, chic, whatever it was, that's fine. Bold choice. Can't fault her for that. But where did she debut this coat, you might wonder? She debuted it at a historic Welsh woolen mill for patterned Welsh textiles, which was okay, which was fine. So again, very on brand, on trend. But this is, after that is where things got a bit funny, because after that, she paid a visit to Hewitt Denim in Cardigan. And this is a premium Welsh brand. And this denim brand was made famous in 2018 when Meghan wore their jeans on an official visit to Cardiff. And that appearance sparked what the brand's own founder, yes, the brand's own co-founder, publicly called the Megan Markle effect. Yes, the brand owner actually said this is the Meghan effect because they sold out. Now, these are not my words, but his words. And he told People magazine that demand surged so fast that they had to move to a factory 3 times the size to hire new staff within weeks. Yes, that was Meghan. That was down to Meghan. Now, here's the thing. My girl knows how to find very small, niche brands, and she brings positive focus on them. And the founders will, usually they'll come out and say, we are able to sell 100 times more what we did last year because of Meghan. End of. So imagine 2018 representing British brands, or, you know, globally, bringing attention to them globally, and Meghan gets abuse. Meghan got abused till she had to leave the country a couple of years later. But that's not part of the story. Let me move on. So 8 or 9 years later, we then have the other girl turning up at the same company, which is now framed as part of her ongoing efforts to champion British textiles and independent business. I know her title bears the name of the country that she was visiting, right? But of all the businesses in that particular country, she had to pick the one that Meghan had already done the groundwork and laid the groundwork for. Why do you think she's doing that? This is what I call erasure. They're trying to remove Meghan's footprint from that company and associate everything positive that company got as a result of Meghan wearing their jeans. They're trying to associate it with the other girl. Remember what they did to Centre Ballet, the colonization? Yes. They're trying to colonize all Meghan's good work by sending the other girl. But anyway, now I'm not saying that she can't visit Welsh brands. But what we are reacting to right now is the timing, the pattern, and the credit shuffle. Yes, the credit stealing, the credit shuffle. That's what we're reacting to. Because this isn't a new discovery. It's revisiting of a ground that Meghan had already researched, spotlighted, and elevated years ago. And she did it quietly, deliberately, with measurable results. What's the results of Madam's visit? Oh, and by the way, according to people who were there, her visit didn't even last, maybe for both sides. Her visit didn't even last 45 minutes. Apparently, she spent 20 to 25 minutes at one site and maybe 20 minutes at another. I don't know. And yet, if you watch how this will be written up, the coverage is not going to say that the brand was first propelled to global attention by Meghan Sussex. Instead, it would say something like, oh, the other girl shines a light on British craftsmanship. Yes, same brand, new headline, different attribution. And that is the part that people are clocking now instantly. As soon as we see it, we know, we recognize. Because there's another thing. The undercover art gallery visits, the quiet ballet outings, the low-key, no-rota appearances, except there's always a photographer present and it always ends up on the Kensington Palace socials. Again, those were things that Diana did on the down low. Diana did all those things, the visiting the homeless, the reading to people, hospital beds, going to the ballet during her own time. These were all things that Diana did and did not broadcast. And yet, this is what, Madam's leisure is now part of her engagement diary. Really? So I don't even understand anymore. I don't get what they're trying to do with her. I don't care what they're trying to do with her. The only thing I care about is that she doesn't colonize all Meghan's work, or her fashion, or her speeches, or her mannerisms, or her phrasing, or her charities. But anyway, so what we're seeing right now is that they have to pad the other girl's schedule, because in January, it's widely reported that she took about 26 days off. And her husband took 21 days off. And instead, what we're seeing is a work schedule padded with symbolic visits, meals, jean factories, galleries, while the narrative does the heavy lifting. And I think the irony is that every time this happens, it doesn't diminish Meghan's impact. It actually reminds people of it. That's the irony. Because you mentioned the denim brand and everyone's like, wasn't Meghan there first? Didn't Meghan blah, 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 blah. And the audience, I feel, knows who did the groundwork. And they remember who wore a brand like Aquazzura, for example, like Strathberry, before it was safe, established, and press-friendly. So 8 years later, retracing those steps doesn't look like leadership. It actually looks like a confirmation. So yes, the coat may be interesting, and definitely Welsh textiles are beautiful. And yes, Hewitt denim deserves praise. But let's be honest about the timeline. You don't get to walk back into a room that somebody else opened nearly a decade later and pretend that you were the one who turned on the lights. And the more the media tries to rewrite this narrative, the louder the receipts get. And people like me are there, the North remembers, because we will remind them. But anyway, let me know what you think. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of The Luxpreneur. And for more insights like these, please like, share, comment, and follow me. And to support my work, yes, please support me. Get a copy of The Luxpreneur today from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or from Waterstones, or from, you can buy me a coffee. I've got a link on Buy Me a Coffee. You can check my name there and support my work that way.